Okay, so let us. So I hope the upcoming exam also will be free. Is it? So and uh, and now I welcome all of you into my class. So basically, I'm going to deal with politics and history part. Is it? So as already you know that which all portions are there for your term 2 examination. Can anyone say from history part which lesson is there for our exam?
Nationalism in India.
Nationalism in India. Very good. Your name, please?
Zahnuf.
Okay, okay, good. Then, what about the politics part? Which all lessons are there?
Political party.
Political parties and one more is there.
Outcomes of
Outcomes of
democracy.
democracy.
Outcomes of democracy. Okay. So, anyway, now we are going to deal with history part. Anyway, it's a huge contents are there and too much facts are there. So we have to get more time rather than this politics, is it? So anyway, we are going to deal with nationalism in India. Okay. So in I just go through one PDF file with me. So just go through it and we can be go one by one. Okay. Sir, can I share the screen share option?
Yes, ma'am, you can share.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. Are you able to see? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello? Yes, okay. So this is the overall view of our lesson, nationalism in India. Where we are not get time to describe each and every event, is it? Instead, just I'm going to give you a brief description about each. Okay. So the lesson which is begins with the First World War, Khilafat and non-cooperation movement, is it? So as we know that the Khilafat movement and the nationalism in India, which is started with the First World War, and it's created a new economic and political situation, isn't it? So here they divided like this: the First World War and Khilafat and non-cooperation movement, then different stance within the movement, then towards India and a sense of collective belonging. This is the overall view of this lesson. Is it? Then next we come to one by one. The first it is about the implication of First World War on India, isn't it? So the war created too much problems for our the economic problems for our country, isn't it? Then it increased the defense expenditure, it increased the customs and duties and introduction of income tax, and it's increased prices of commodity and forced recruitment of villagers into the army. Anyway, the people became really fed with this, and especially the crop failure in many parts of India leading to the shortage of food. So that is a front part, isn't it? But before that, we all have to have an idea about the meaning of nationalism, isn't it? The meaning of nationalism. Sometimes they were asking for one mark question about the meaning of nationalism. So all of you know about the already we have studied from the first part, that is nationalism in Europe. Is it? So anyway, I'm not not going to discuss about that. Just you have to mention that. All of you have to sit with a pen and paper or notebook. Then only you can be noted down some important points there. Okay. Then later, after the First World War and Khilafat, we know the advent of Mahatma Gandhi or the idea of satyagraha. So the idea of satyagraha, it become very, very important area. Okay, what is the meaning of satyagraha? Isn't it? So that is, especially they were asking for one mark question. It is, sometimes we can expect for the others also. Okay, the idea of satyagraha, it is that if he developed the philosophy of action, that is the uh, satyagraha. Then after uh, returning to India, he was successfully conducted the three satyagraha. in India. Which are they? Which are the three important satyagraha advocated by Mahatma Gandhi? Early satyagraha. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello? Am I audible to you?
Satyagraha.
Ah, yes, tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me. Ah, okay, tell me. Which are the three
Champaran
Champaran Satyagraha? Which year?
Satyagraha.
Ah,
1917.
1917. Champaran. The place which is situated in which, sorry, the,
Bihar.
yes, Bihar. Then, second one,
Keda.
Keda, the place,
Gujarat.
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 Okay, good. Okay, good. Then, after one more is there. Which is that?
In
Ahmedabad.
1988, Ahmedabad.
Yes, Ahmedabad mill strike. So all of you know about the details of this three satyagraha, isn't it? Isn't it? These are the three major satyagraha introduced by Mahatma Gandhi, isn't it? Then after the completion of this three satyagraha, he has conducted a mass satyagraha against the Rowlatt Act. Okay, what do you mean by Rowlatt Act? What do you mean by Rowlatt Act? You know already, that's what I'm asking. Don't feel bad about me. Just I have to get the points from you. That's what. Yes, tell me. What is Rowlatt Act? Who have
Act gave
introduced
the,
the? Yes.
Act gave the government
Yes.
to arrest
Ah. Ah.
political leaders and keep them
Leaders.
in prison.
Okay. In which year it was passed? The Rowlatt Act was passed in 1919,
1990.
1919 April 6. Is it? It was passed by who? The person name. Sometimes you can expect the question of that also. Sydney Rowlatt. Is it? So what that act is, it authorized the government to imprison any person without trial or conviction to the court for 2 years. That is the correct definition of that Rowlatt Act. All of you must know. So, what was the reaction Rowlatt after the introduction of Rowlatt Act in India? Did all Indians welcome this? They happy with that? Are they happy with that? Hello?
No.
No, is it?
No.
So, okay. Most of the Indians were not at all happy with this act, and they were conducted. The rallies were organized in cities, isn't it? The workers went on strike in railway workshops, and local leaders were picked up from Amritsar, isn't it? What was the important incident which was happened after soon after this Rowlatt Act?
Um,
Yes, tell me.
Amritsar. April 10.
Amritsar, yes, what was that incident name? An important tragedy in the history of India. What is that?
Jallianwala Bagh.
Jallianwala
Jallianwala Bagh tragedy, isn't it? So I already told you that the important leaders, they were arrested from Amritsar. What was the name of that leaders? What was the name of that leaders? Tell me. Dr. Satyapal and Dr.
Satyagraha.
Saifuddin. Yes, Dr. Saifuddin Kichalo, isn't it? So to protest against their arrest, a public meeting was announced on 13th April 1919 at Jallianwala Bagh, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
a large crowd they came to that area, but without giving any information. General Dyer, who came over that area, and he fired upon the public, isn't it? Isn't it? So, and he imposed martial law. Every time they were asking this question about martial law. What is martial law? Yes? Martial law. Anyone know martial law? What is martial law? Martial law.
Not
Law
allowed to
says
gather in one place.
the law it has not more two people who can come at the place, isn't it? So what was so that whole incident you know. Then what was the after effects? Sometimes The CBSE is not asking about sometimes, okay, regularly they were not asking about this Jallianwala massacre, but instead they were asking about the after effects of this Jallianwala Bagh massacre. What was the after effects? That is very, very important. Both are important. Tell me, what are the after effects of Jallianwala Bagh massacre? Hello? Who is? Hello, please mute yourself. What was the after effects? That is very, very important. After effects. There were strike and clashes with the police and attacks the government buildings. Is it? Then the government took repressive measures and forced Satyagrahi to rub their noses on the ground, isn't it? And they were made crowd streets and they were the Indians, they were forced to salam to the Sahib. These are the important points you must have to be studied. Okay, so that much only about the Rowlatt Satyagraha and the after effects and the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. The day is very, very important. Regarding history, we could not write any date and year according to our wishes, isn't it? So we should have to be noted down all the dates and year. Clear? Rowlatt Act 1919 April 6th and Jallianwala Bagh massacre April 13th 1919. Is it clear? Is it okay, dears?
Yes.
Is it okay? Okay. Then later on we come to the Khilafat and non-cooperation movement. Khilafat issue. That was the important part. Isn't it? Khilafat. What was the main demands of this Khilafat committee? What was the main? What was the Khilafat movement actually? When the Jallianwala Bagh took place on the same year, the Indian Muslims they were agitated based on the Khilafat issue. What was actually why the people, the Indian Muslims, they were rebelled against this? What was the major problem of Khilafat issue? What was the Khilafat issue? Tell me.
The power of the spiritual head
Yes.
of
Muslim community, the
taken
Khalifa. Yes, the Khalifa. He was the spiritual head of the Islamic world, isn't it? So they were taken back the title of, or they were removed the title of the position Khalifa, as the spiritual head of Muslim community, isn't it? So on August 13, 1919, it was in India observed as a Khilafat Day. Who was the two prominent leader of this Khilafat movement?
Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali.
Yes, Maulana Muhammad Ali and Maulana Shaukat Ali, and they were known as the Ali brothers, isn't it? And they were discussed these matters with Mahatma Gandhi, and Gandhiji adopt the policy of non-cooperation movement with government. Okay, so soon after this Khilafat issue, next we have to have a discussion about the non-cooperation movement. Actually, the non-cooperation movement and CDM movement, the strategy of that organization become different. Okay, my dear children, please be noted down about the NCM. NCM. Actually, which conversation has adopted this NCM movement? Which conversation? Which conversation? Hello? Hello? Which conversation? No, don't know. Don't know which. Yes, Nagpur conversation adopted this NCM movement, isn't it? So, what was the main strategy of this NCM? Main strategy, NCM. Tell me.
Do not cooperate with Indians.
They were not cooperate with Indians. Were
British.
not cooperate with the British. Okay. Then only that. Only
Refuse
that.
any British titles.
Refused British titles, the award which was given by the British to India, surrender of the government jobs, boycott of civil service, army, police, court, legislative council, schools, and boycott of British goods, and they were forced the Indians to accept the Swadeshi products, isn't it? During at that time, you know that the khadi was the most expensive cloth than the mass produced mill cloth in India, is it? So especially they were leaders, they were focused the Indians to use only the Indian made goods. Okay, so that all you know. Anyway, I'm not going to deal with all the points. Anyway, I wish to go, but we have less time. Okay, then after that we have discussed the differences within the contests. Okay, especially the non-cooperation soon after the movements in towns. So here the two area was there. One it is the movements in towns and the other one it is movements in the countryside. So towns already you know. Now we have discussed now, especially the students and teachers, they were trickling back from the schools and colleges, and middle class participation is there. Boycott of foreign clothes and liquor shops were picketed, like that. Then the other one it is about the movements, the rebellion in the countryside. There we have to discuss the two major areas. Which are they? The rebellion in the countryside. Especially we in our textbook they had given the two major area. One it is it was in Awadh. The other one it is the Gadam Hills of Andhra Pradesh. Who had led the movement against the British in Awadh? Who had
Baba
led the
Ramachandra.
Baba? Yes, Baba Ramchandra, isn't it? He was. It was the movement was against the
Peasants and tribal peoples.
Talukdas, not peasants. It was against the Talukdas and landlords who demanded to pay higher rents and variety of other cesses. What do you mean by cesses? Cesses. It's a type of
beggar,
yes, not beggar. It's a type of taxes also, and the peasants were compelled to do the beggar. Two things are there: cessus and the beggar. It's a compulsory labor without any payment. Okay. Then that all area is very very important. Don't skip it. And the next one it is about the Gadam Hills of Andhra Pradesh. Who had led the movement against the British in that Gadam Hills of Andhra Pradesh? Tell me.
Alluri Sidaram Raju.
Alluri Sitaram Raju. What type of things he have uh, introduced, or which type of warfare? Which type of warfare? Guerrilla warfare. Okay, and especially it was against the forest law, isn't it? That all you know, isn't it? Forest law, and okay. Later on, he was executed, isn't it? Then after that, when and next one it is about the Swaraj in plantation also, isn't it? Swaraj in plantation. Plantation. What do you mean by Swaraj in plantation? Regarding the plantation workers, how they come up with the idea of Swaraj? How they acquired the Swaraj? Through what way? Tell me. Through what way? Swaraj for plantation workers. How? For plantation workers in
freedom.
Assam, where it is? Yes. For the plantation workers in Assam, the freedom means what actually what they have to get. It means that they have to right to move freely in and out of the confined spaces. That is the main demand of them, isn't it? Then they had introduced what the British they had introduced an Inland Immigration Act of 1859. Very, very important. Inland Immigration Act of 1859. What was that act else? What was that act else? Inland Immigration Act. What is that?
Plantation
Important.
workers
Please
were
note it
not
in your book.
gave the tea gardens without permission.
Yes, very good. It states that the plantation workers of Assam were not permitted to leave the tea plantation without their permission, isn't it? So that is very very important. So up to there only the important area regarding this non-cooperation movement, especially the movement in the towns and the rebellion in the countryside, including this plantation. But as we know that, however, they reached the in February 1922, Gandhiji decided to withdraw the NCA movement, isn't it? So soon after this, when the non-cooperation movement was going on, but in some places, it become the movement become what not in a good manner, isn't it? So he felt that the movement was turning violent in many places. So he trying to and he thought that the satyagrahi needed to be trained, properly trained, isn't it? So he was withdrawn the. Not only that, one main reasons are there the withdrawal of NCM movement. What was the main reason for the withdrawal of NCM movement?
Chauri
Pablo.
Chaura incident.
Chauri, yes, the Chauri Chaura incident, isn't it? The Chauri Chaura is a district where actually it was situated.
Gorakhpur, Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh.
Bharatpur district in
Uttar Pradesh.
UP. UP. Okay, so that also you have to be conscious about the Chauri Chaura incident. Okay, it was a. What was actually that incident? What was that?
24 policemen were killed.
Killed. Okay, or you know, anyway, I'm not going to discuss about in detail. So, but it was against his philosophy of action. That is the only reason why he have what called back this non-cooperation movement. It's just because of the Chauri Chaura incident. Sometimes they will be asking for 3 marks. Sometimes they will be asking for 5 marks, isn't it? So please note it that the non-cooperation movement and what was the reason for why Gandhiji was called of this movement. Then after that, the withdrawal of non-cooperation movement demoralized the Congress party to disappoint with Gandhiji's decision, and later on, a section of Congress party leaders they have formulated a separate party. What was that party name? What was that party name?
Justice Party.
Yes. What was it? What? Pardon me. Swarajist party. Is it? So
Sir, Justice Party.
Okay, it's this party. So it was in 1923. Okay, that you just noted. Then later on, so that much only about, and in between some important incident have occurred, isn't it? Especially in 1928, soon after the withdrawal of non-cooperation movement, the Gandhiji was not at all actively participated into any other sessions, and later on one commission have to be appointed. In between, one commission was appointed by the Britishers. What was the commission name?
Simon Commission.
Simon Commission. What was that Simon Commission? In which year it was appointed? It was why it was formed. It was formed to review the working conditions, the working of the government of India Act of 1919, isn't it? So, and a new commission was headed by who? Who was headed this new commission? Who was headed this new commission? Sir, Sir John Simon, including 7 members, isn't it? So, this commission was rejected by all the Indians. Why? Why this commission was rejected by all the Indians?
Because
There were no
no Indians in
Indians.
There
India.
were no Indians, isn't it? And this commission was when they arrived, and this commission was welcomed with the black flag demonstration under the slogan "Go back, Simon," isn't it? That's all you know. Then and later on, soon after the Simon Commission, again the Congress committee they have decided to meet at Lahore at 1929. It was under the leadership of headed by who? It was
Jawaharlal Nehru.
Jawaharlal Nehru at Lahore, isn't it? So it was against the Simon Commission, and Congress presided by Nehru, which was the 3 important resolution passed by this Lahore Congress session, which was the 3 important resolution. That is very very important. 3 important resolutions. Okay. Which one? Purna Swaraj is the ultimate aim of Congress. Then it symbolized Vande Mataram and Inqilab Zindabad to popularize the goal of Congress. Then it would be observed 26 January 1930 as an Independence Day for Indians, isn't it? So that is the important area about Lahore Congress session. Then next we have to discuss about the CDM. What is CDM? What is
Civil
CDM?
disobedience movement.
See,
Disobedience movement.
that I know. Okay, that I know. Actually, what does that mean? CDM. Gandhiji, who was started his famous CDM with
Salt March.
the famous salt march. What do you mean by salt law? I will give you a brief description because we doesn't have more time to explain each and everyone. Salt march. What do you mean by salt law? Is it prevailed there in India before the arrival of Britishers? It was there?
No.
No. No. Salt March is also known as Dandi March, isn't it? So Gandhiji, who has started his famous Dandi March with his Salt Satyagraha, isn't it? Started on March 12th till April 6th, 1930. So taxation, a special taxes was imposed on Indian salt to facilitate its movement. So all the Indians, they were against this salt march, and Gandhiji and his 78 trusted volunteers, they set off from his Sabarmati ashram and to Dandi, a coastal town of Gujarat, and on 6th April they reached Dandi and violated the law by boiling the seawater and manufacture the salt. This is the way how he was started the and this marked the CDM moment, isn't it? So what are the after effects of the CDM moment? After effects. After effects of CDM moment. That is very, very important, dear students. Please note it down somewhere. The after effects of CDM. Thousands in different parts of the country broke the salt law, isn't it? They manufactured the salt in front of the salt government salt factories. Then foreign clothes were burned. Liquor shops were picketed. Peasants were refused to pay the taxes to the people, to the government, and village officials were resigned. In many places, forest people violated the forest law. It's all clearly have given in your textbook. Please go through it. Very, very important. After effects. Okay. Then what was the reaction of the Britishers soon after the introduction of this salt march? What was the
They
reaction of
started
the?
arresting people.
Yes, the colonial government began arresting one by one. It led many clashes, and important leaders like Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan also were arrested. Gandhiji himself was arrested, isn't it? So peaceful satyagrahis were attacked. Women and children were beaten up, isn't it? Near 1 lakh people were arrested. In such a situation, once again, Gandhiji, who was called off the uh, moment, CDM moment, isn't it? So that all the things is very important. Please go through it. Then later on, what happened after that CDM moment? After that,
Gandhiji got arrested.
Gandhiji got arrested. Later,
He entered to Lord Gandhi Irwin Pact.
yes, finally, he entered into another important act that was known as Gandhi-Irwin Pact. That pact was held at Delhi. So that pact was otherwise known as Delhi Pact. Okay, then it was held in Delhi. So it is known as Delhi Pact. And what are the main features of what was the year of that Gandhi-Irwin Pact, Lord Irwin? When was the year or when they have signed that pact, Gandhiji and Lord Irwin?
31.
1931, March 5th. Okay. So what was the main features of, what was the major demands that have put forward by Mahatma Gandhi in front of Lord Irwin? What was the main demand?
To abolish the salt law.
Abolish the salt law, of course. Not only that, first important one is to release the political prisoners. Then salt can be produced for consumption in coastal area. Then no aggressive picketing to be allowed, and you have to abolish the salt law. These are the major areas of the salt. Gandhi Irwin Pact. Is it okay for you? Yes. Is it okay for you?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Then now we have to discuss about how participants saw the moment, isn't it? How participant, different community, there were some of them were actively participated, some of them were just like a lukewarm of this CDM moment. Okay. Anyway, in the countryside, let us discuss about the countryside, especially how participants saw the moment. The rich peasants, they hit by trade depression and falling prices. They were unable to pay the revenue. Then joined civil disobedience movement. For them, it was a struggle against high revenue. But when they disappeared when the CDM movement was called off. Hmm? Then the poor peasants, they too faced similar problems as rich peasants, and a depression made it possible to pay rent to the landlords, and Congress are not willing to support poor tenants. Okay. Then in the countryside, the rich peasants like Patidars of Gujarat and Jats of UP, that please note it down. The Patidars of Gujarat and Jats of UP were active in this movement. Okay. Then rich peasants become enthusiastically participated, and for them the fight for Swaraj was struggle against high land revenue. Okay. Then let us come to the business class. Especially during at the time of First World War, Indian merchants and industrialists had made huge profits and they become more powerful, isn't it? So to organize the business interests, they have formed Indian Industry and Commercial Congress in 1920. Please note down that year 1920. And FICCI, that means Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries in 1927. Okay. Then next it is about the industrial working class did not, they were not at all participated in CDM except the Nagpur region. That all the details are clearly given in that page number 66. Just go through it and study it. Okay. Then we can be see that especially they were asking the question, what do you know about the participation of women in CDM movement? How did the women were participated in this CDM?
Yes.
Yes, isn't it? A large scale of participation was there, isn't it? So in the Saltama, thousands of the women came out from the homes and protest. They were conducting the processions, they were protest the marches and manufactured the salt and picketed foreign cloth and liquor shops. So through that, many of them were went to the jail. In urban areas, the women from the high caste families, they also come out from the home and they were actively participated into the CDM movement. Is it clear? Then next, it's about the what are the limitations of CDM. There are some important area was there. Limitations, especially we know that here, see the Dalit, some of the communities, they were just like a lukewarm of this CDM movement, like Dalit. So, especially Gandhiji, who was opposed the forms of untouchability, as we know that, and he called the untouchables as a Harijans. That means the children of Vishnu, isn't it God? Then, and he organized Satyagraha for entry into temple. As we know that everywhere a kind of segregation were made by the upper class people, isn't it? So he was a person who was completely against that, and many of the Dalit leaders, like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who sought political endowment. As we know that in ancient Indian society was really followed some of the rigid customs and traditions, isn't it? Like caste system, polyandry, polygamy, then what sati, isn't it? So many of the social reformers come out to eradicate all this kind of social evils, isn't it? So here, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he was a person who belonged from the Maha caste, and he organized a depressed class association in 1913. Please note it down. Depressed class association in 1913. I demanded separate electorate in second roundtable conference, isn't it? Then later on, but Gandhiji, he was a person who was not ready to accept the concept of the untouchables, isn't it? So, and it led clashes between Gandhiji and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and finally they have settled in the Pune Pact in 1932. Okay, so why Gandhiji was not at all ready to accept the concept of this untouchable? Because he believed that the separate electorate for Dalits would slow down the process of the integration of the society, isn't it? But finally, they too accepted Gandhiji. Ambedkar ultimately accepted Gandhiji's positions, and it was resulted the Pune Pact of 1932 in September. Okay, then, and that is the about the Dalits. And let's come to the Muslims, especially as we know that some of the Muslim political organization in India, they were also lukewarm to their response to the CDM. You know what may be the reason? What may be the reason? Can anyone can share? What was the reason? The participation of the Dalit participation, and also the Muslims organization participation also limited. Why? What may be the reason?
They feel alienated.
Alienated by what may be the reason exactly they were alienated? Means we know that many of the soon after this Khilafat issue and the other one, the Indian Congress leaders, they were neglected the Muslims, isn't it? That kind of feeling was arise among the minds of the Indian Muslims, isn't it? So they felt alienated from the Congress. So from mid 1920, the Congress came to be more visibly associated with the Hindu religious nationalist groups like Hindu Mahasabha, isn't it? So they only trying to eradicate whatever the problems it had been existed in the ancient Indian society, isn't it? So they itself have such a type of mentality, isn't it? So the Congress and the Muslim League made effort to renegotiate an alliance, and in 1927 it appeared that such a unity could be forged, isn't it? So later on, what Muhammad Ali Jinnah, one of the leaders from Muslim League, was willing to give up the demands for separate electorate. Actually, that kind of things was happened during at that time, especially it's a type of mentality, isn't it? So the Muslim League demanded separate electorate with the Hindu Janasabha rejected, and both communities were filled with suspicion and distress, and Muslim fear dominated by Hindus and loss of their culture identity. Okay. Then later we have discussed in that lesson about the sense of collective belonging. What are the factors that created a kind of sense of collective belonging? Which are the factors, especially history, fiction, folklore, songs, simples, isn't it? Then rhymes, then historical fictions, etc. And there you have to be seriously have to be noted down the major things. It was in 20th century the growth of nationalism, that is the identity of India means to be visually associated with the image of Bharat Mata, isn't it? Bharat Mata. Who had created the first picture of Bharat Mata? Banking Chandra
Abhindranath
Chattopadhyay.
Tagore.
Chattopadhyay in his famous novel Anand Mad. Later it was added into the, sorry, Vande Mataram. Later that was added into the Anand Mad. That all very, very important years. Please note it down. Then in Bengal, Rabindranath Tagore himself began collecting the nursery rhymes and myth, isn't it? Then in Madras, Nadesh Shastri published a massive 4-volume collection of Tamil folk tales. What was their name? The folklore of southern India. Is it? Then it was during at the time of Swadeshi movement in Bengal. What do you mean by Swadeshi movement in Bengal? When it was started? Swadeshi movement. Swadeshi movement. It was started in 1905, soon after the what partition of Bengal, isn't it? The INC, the all the Indians, especially the Congress, they have formulated the Swadeshi movement, isn't it? So during the Swadeshi movement in Bengal, a tricolor flag was introduced. The color is red, green, and yellow was designed, isn't it? But later on, what by 1921, please note it down the date 1921, Gandhiji, who have designed the Swaraj flag for the first time. It was again a tricolor flag, red, green, and white, had a spinning wheel at the center representing the Gandhian ideal of self-help. Is it? So that was the major area you have to be noticed in that part. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear, dears? Can I move to the politics part then?
Yes,
Hello?
ma'am.
Okay, fine, fine. Then, then now we are going to discuss about political parties. So, political parties in that lesson, just I will go through this major point. First, we have to discuss about meaning of political party, isn't it? Meaning of political party, the components of political party, the three components. Which are the three components of political parties? Leaders, active members, and the followers, is it? Then later we have discussed about necessity and importance of political party. Why we need a political party? Country like India, what is the need of political party? If in the absence of political party, what will happen, isn't it? So what will if modern democracy cannot exist without political party? Justify the statement. What will be your answer? What will be your answer? If in the absence of political party, what will happen? You can expect the twisted questions. That's what I'm asking. No answer. Without political parties, especially, everyone will become independent and no one will be responsible for who frame the law for the country, isn't it? So there will be no agency to gather or present different views on various issues. Then later we discuss about party system. What do you mean by party system? Type of party system which are they? One party, two party, multi-party system. Okay, please go through about the three party system or the type of party system that each merits and demerits. I saw in many questions like merits of two party system, demerits like that. Okay, just go through it. Then later we have discussed about what the multi-party system, as we already know. I am not at all going to explain about one by one. Then why India adopted a multi-party system? Why India adopted a multi-party system? The answer is very simple. Why India adopted a multi-party system? Is there any reason?
We have variety of cultures and
We have variety of cultures. It's just because of the social and geographical diversity of the nation. Within one word, you will be getting every things, isn't it? So the diverse social culture, that every some of the question paper I saw that question. Please note it that. Then we have discussed about the kind of political parties. Kind of political parties. Which are the kind of political party? National parties and state or regional parties, isn't it? So it's a national party and a regional party. Or what are the conditions to be needed to a national party? And what is a regional party? That two area you have to study it. Okay, a party that is recognized as national party when it have to secure at least 6% of total vote in Lok Sabha or assembly election in 4 seats and win at least 4 seats in Lok Sabha. Like that, areas are there that you have to just go through it. Then next we have discussed about the national parties. How many national parties we have? How many national parties are there? Hello? Are you sleeping there? No, no. How many national parties are there? There are seven. Up
Seven.
now seven. Our textbook it is seven. So All Indian Trinamool Congress Party, BSP, Bahujan Samajwad Party, BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party, CPI, Communist Party of India, CPIM, Communist Party of India, Marxist, and INC, Indian National Congress, then NCP, National Congress Party. Isn't it? So all this party, when you are studying time, you must have to study the ideology of these seven parties. Okay, and who had led? Some of the leaders are there, no? For example, AITC. Mamta Banerjee, like that, some can, and BSP, Kanshi it stood for the betterment of the Dalit and Adivasi communities. Like that, no? That main area you should have to study. Clear? Then, regional parties. Okay, what do you mean by regional party? That is state-wise party. That in your textbook, that a map they have given about state parties, that you just go through it. Okay, that is important. Some examples they are asking in which state like that. Okay, then what do you mean by a recognized party? That one question I saw in one question paper. What do you mean by a recognized party? Recognized party. A recognized political party is one that is registered with the Election Commission of India. Is it? So who is the Chief Election Commission of India now? Yes, sometimes they will be not chance at all, but we should have to get. We are ready to answer that. Who is the Chief Election Commission of India now? Hello. Don't know. No one know. It is Sushil Chandra. Okay, just note it down somewhere. So that much only about the national and the party. Then last area, it is challenges to political party. What are the challenges that has faced by the political parties in India? Tell me. Not only India, what are the major challenges? First one, lack of internal democracy. Second one, dynastic succession. Third one, growing role of money and muscle power, lack of meaningful choice to the voters, isn't it? That each area you must have to study. Okay? What does a lack of internal democracy mean? What is dynastic succession? A number of dynastic succession means what? A number of people or the thing following one after another, isn't it? The real power in any party with a few leaders at the top positions. That all you know. That's what I'm skipping that all. Then role of money and muscle power in political parties, how it comes. Then next it is lack of meaningful choice to the voters. If we go deeply, we find that there is no clear cut differences between the policies and programs of the different political parties. Only we can be seen how they were practicalized this, isn't it? So, and two examples also has given. Then the last area it is how parties can be reformed. How? Through what way? The first one it is, or you will be getting the question, suggest four ways to uh, reform the political party. First one it is effort made. First one anti-defection law. Second one affidavit, mandatory organizational meeting. These are the three one. What is anti-defection law? Anti-defection law. That is very, very important. 1 mark. 1 mark may be asked. Anti-defection law is important. Affidavit. In order to reduce the influence of money and muscle power, the Supreme Court has introduced, has made it's a mandatory for all the candidates who stood for the election have to file an affidavit. Isn't it? So the candidate, what all the details he have to give? The candidate will have to give the details of his or her property and criminal cases which was pending against him. These are all the things they have to give. Then suggestions. What are suggestions we can be put forward? What are suggestions? Suggestion. Tell me.
Their own ideologies.
Their own ideology means how? The law should be regulate internal affairs. Then, second one, seat to be reserved for women. Then, stay funding of election. Isn't it? These are the three major suggestions. It is clearly given in your textbook last part. Just go through it. You have to study this answers. Okay, this area, suggestions. Is it clear? Is it clear, dears? Hello? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, anyway, now we come to the last part of our session, that is the major outcomes of democracy. Here you can expect a number of questions, twisted questions, but don't be panic. Once you have studied about democracy in detail, you are able to answer all these things. Clear? So, first of all, we should have to discuss about the major outcomes, isn't it? So the major outcomes of outcome means what? The result or consequence or the outputs, isn't it? So the outcomes can be major outcomes can be divided into three, like political outcome, then economic outcomes and social outcome, isn't it? social outcome. Okay, so what do you mean by political outcome? Political outcome implies, anyway, that lesson which is begins with the when we compared it to democracy to dictatorship, we can be see many differences, isn't it? So that is a way you want to study. Okay, so here democracy, whether it is an accountable, legitimate, or responsive government, that we have to find out. So major outcomes of democracy can be political, economic, and social. Under political, the political outcomes of democracy states that democracy is an accountable, responsible, and legitimate government. Clear? So what is the meaning of this accountable government? That three area you must have to study. Accountable government means what? It's an answerable government. The accountable government is answerable to its citizens, isn't it? And moreover, it have to provide a transparent form of government. How democracy provide a transparent form of government? What is the meaning of transparent? You all know the transparent sheet, OHP sheet, isn't it? If we are looking to this side, we can be see the other also. Is it? So what do you mean by transparent government? How democracy ensure a transparent government?
He or she can examine the
Ah,
process of
yes.
decision.
Good, good, good. Your name, please? Iqbal. What is your name? Iqbal itself?
No,
Yes.
Fatima.
Okay, okay. Sorry, Fatima. Good. Transparent means in a democratic country, citizens wants to know whether the decision was made or taken through the correct procedure or not, isn't it? So he has the right to means to examine the process of the decision making. Already in your textbook they had given about the meaning of transparency. That all you have to go through. Then the elected representative form the government and make the policies, and election should be held in a free and fair manner. Everything will come under the accountable government. Then next it is responsive government. A responsible government is responsible for the needs and aspiration of the people in a country, isn't it? It's promote the government must promote the information to the public, isn't it? Public opinion and care about the public. Then the people also believe that democracy is suitable for their country and their problems would be attended to, isn't it? So that is responsible. Then legitimate government means what? As we know that democracy is a government of the people and majority government. A number of political party will contest the election, but which party will be getting the majority vote? That party will be officially declared as the ruling party of the state, and that party will form and run the government, isn't it? So if the peoples are not satisfied with the working of the government, they have the right to change it. These are the provisions, okay. So a legitimate government is one which elected by the people of the country, isn't it? Then we come to the economic outcome. The economic outcomes of democracy very much connected with the factors of the economic development, reduction of economic inequality, elimination of poverty, isn't it? So when we compare the growth rate of all democracy and dictatorship, within democracy there exists a high rate of economic inequality. Am I right? Am I right? Is it?
Yes.
Yes. How it is? So you will be getting the. They won't ask the question directly. The twisted question will be asking like this. So you must be able to answer this. So the same sentence maybe they will ask for to justify the statement. How you will prove it? When we compare the rate of all democracy to dictatorship, within democracy there exists a high rate of economic inequality. How it is? How it is?
A few
Nobody.
Archons enjoy a high power,
Yes,
high
high powers.
thing.
Yes, yet a few, especially, yet the problems of the poor are never addressed, and people in several countries depend upon the rich countries, even their food supplies, isn't it? So democracy cannot remove the inequality completely. Still, as you know, one picture which is given in your textbook, isn't it? Poor, middle, and richer, isn't it? So this means that there should be a larger gap between the rich and poor. Income should be equally. How we can be avoid this kind of discrimination? Income should be equally distributed among the Citizens, it has the duty of the government to initiate equal opportunities regarding employment, equal pay for equal work, isn't it? Equal protection against any kind of economic exploitation must be guaranteed to everyone in the society. Who have to take the initiative for this all? The government, isn't it? So the problems of poverty and unemployment should be checked by the government, and democracies are based on political equality and all individuals having equal right, isn't it? And next we comes to the social outcome. What are the social outcomes of democracy? What do you mean by social outcome? Social
Equality.
outcome, equality, gender, there should not be any kind of gender discrimination, isn't it? Accommodation of social diversity, dignity and freedom of the individual, dignity of women, social equality, gender equality, ban on untouchability. In the social sphere, the democracy tries to help its citizens to lead a peaceful and harmonious life by accommodating all the social diversity, isn't it? So equal protection should be given to every category of the people in the society, like women, obc, scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Whatever they have to be reserved, it have to be given by the government itself. Gender division should be avoided in the society, and the society should be free to form any kind of untouchability and discrimination. Okay, so rule by the majority means that what it is in the case every decisions or case in every election. So no individual is discrimination on the basis of his caste, gender, and religion, isn't it? So it improves the quality of decision making, etc. Isn't it? So and dignity of the women is very very important, isn't it? So by eradicating all these type of problems, we can be say it's a we can be believe that it's a good type of government. But democracy is not a final solution for all the problems, isn't it? So its examination never gets over. In your textbook, just see one page number. I will tell you. I'm going to wind up the session. Let me one of the testimony of not okay, no problem. It is there in your textbook. Its examination never gets over. So every time they were asking that question as an application level question, so please go through it, and please study that outcomes of democracy. In some areas they won't ask the questions directly, so all these three outcomes, political, economic, and social outcome, which all the things will come under that, this all you have to study. So I hope my class is a little bit speed is there. Some other two faculties are waiting there, so I cannot means whatever the things I have to deliver to you. I hope that area is clear. Is it? Is it? Somebody you get from me, and anyway, now if you have any doubt, I'm going to clarify that. If you have any doubt, you can ask to me now. Then I can hand it over the session to the other teachers or other RPs. If you have any doubt, you can ask to me. Then regarding the map, sorry, regarding the map, already you know that the maps which they are going to ask, the place where the Jallianwala Bagh massacre took place. So just a minute, let me, sir, 2 more minutes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir. Excuse me. That map. See here, the important INC session, International Congress session. The September 1920, it was held in Calcutta. The December 1920 INC session, it was held at Nagpur. And 1927 Congress session was held at Madras, and 1929 at Lahore. Is it? Then map question, see Amritsar, which was a state, which was a place in Punjab. Then Ahmedabad. Sometimes some of the students were not able to get the states. That's what I am making like this. Champaran, not BP, it is. Okay, Champaran, it was in Bihar. Lahore, now it is in Pakistan. Kheda, the no tax campaign, it was at Gujarat. And Nagpur, it was in Maharashtra. And Calcutta in West Bengal. And Madras in Tamil Nadu. And Chauri Chaura, it was in UP. Okay. So this much things I have to share to with you. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Other teachers are, other RPs are waiting. Sir, did I took more time?
No problem. No problem.
Okay.
Today only we
Okay.
can do all these things. No,
Yes, sir. Okay.
anyway, thank you. Thank you on behalf of Malappuram Central Sahodaya, Shivla, ma'am,
Okay.
Sarna.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Can I
thank you
leave?
very much.
Okay. Can I leave now, sir?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you
And
very much. Anyway, wish you all the very best, my dear students, and let us hope for the best, and let us hope our social science exam will be very easiest one. Okay, have a wonderful day with you. Okay, thank you once again. Okay, bye.
thank you, ma'am. And this time I welcome Mujib sir from MEA Central School, the HM
Sir,
at
excuse me,
the
sir. I working, sir. It is working, sir.
Worky sir also here. Okay. So welcome Worky sir and Mujib sir together.
Okay.
First of all, Worky sir will present. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me. Good evening, everyone. I think all the students are active now. Even if the same subject we are continuing, social science, even if the class is going on, the textbook now we are changing now from start that madam started history and she shifted to politics. Now history and politics are over. Now we are starting geography class. That not too long, maximum 15 minutes only. That will be told. Time is very short. So the students whoever attend, please be vigilant. Only 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, economics class will be there. That Mujibsa will be coming. Okay. So let me discuss only few important points. Maybe questions only, not even answers, because there is no time to discuss all answers. This is not the proper time to discuss the answers also. I hope you all have completed your revisions, studies, everything. So it is just it is an activity just revising only. Okay. So here I am starting with the map questions. Map question, geography part. Each chapter, second time, each chapter the map will be there. The first chapter about map, what I want to remind you is India important minerals and energy resource chapter. That chapter question answers theory part will not be there, but map will be asked. Minerals and energy resource. Okay, map question will come. So which are the map places you have to take care? Iron ore mine. A few, if I say what you have to take care is, you can just see page your textbook. Those who are listening, the students, please take your textbook. All the textbook, if you have all the textbook, page number 54. Okay, so there you can see the iron ore mines. There, what I insist is Kudrimukh, Durg, Bellary, Ratnagiri, Mayurbhanj. These places you take care. Okay, once again, Kudrimukh, Durg, Bellary, Ratnagiri, and Mayurbhanj. But other places also, sometimes you might have gone through each and everything, so go through more. Then, chapter 2. Next chapter, map question I am telling. Second time, next chapter is conventional energy resources there. Mineral and energy resource chapter, conventional energy resources. There oil field. Map question again. Map question, oil fields. Which oil fields you have to give more care? Mumbai High, Digboy, Basin. These three places give more importance. Oil field, you have to give emphasis or importance Mumbai High, Basin, and Digboy. Digboy in Assam, Basin and Mumbai High in the Maharashtra side in Arabian Sea. Okay. Then coal mine. Which are the coal mines? My choice, my selection is Neyveli. Neyveli, the question you should identify. Almost every year, Neyveli, the Cbse used to ask. It is in Tamil Nadu. Okay. Then Raniganj, Talcher, Bokaro, and Jaria. These are the places, oil fields you have to Sorry, coal mines you have to take care. Coal mine, Neyveli, Raniganj, Talcher, Bokaro, and Jaria. Next, power plant. Again, map power plant. Which are the map places to give importance in the map question? So power plants, Kalpakam, Kaiga, that is nuclear power plant. Okay, nuclear power plant or atomic power plant we say. Kalpakam, Kaiga, Tarapur, Rawalpata, Narora, and Kakrapara. Six nuclear power plants or atomic power plants are there. So each one you have to identify very well. Okay. Then next, manufacturing industry chapter map question. Which are the map questions? Manufacturing industry. That iron and steel plants, page number 72, old textbook, page number 72, manufacturing iron and steel plants you have to take care. Then IT park or software technology park. Every year, software technology park question is asked. Software technology park question, theory question will not come. Instead, map question they ask. So the map question there, what you have to take care is Mohali, Gandhinagar, Noida, Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Mysuru, Guwahati, Bhubaneswar, and Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala. These are the places you have to take care or to learn. Okay. And again, last year after geography, last year after lifeline of national economy map question, there also map question chance is there. So which are the maps? There you have to take care. Which places? That is airports, major airports of India and major seaports of India. Major airports and major seaports. I am not mentioning which are the major. In the map, it is given there. So that they will be giving the names there. They will be locating it as in the map. They will locate it as A, B, C, something, and you have to write the name of it. What A represent, or what B represent, or what is C. There you have to name write the name. That is identify and locate. Identify and write the name there. Then these should be done in the map itself. Not simply writing answer in the booklet given. This map question, whether it is history or geography, you have to do in the map question in the question paper. Then tear that page from the question paper. After writing the names in the question paper, map given there, tear that page and tie along with your answer booklet. Okay. So nobody should write the answer in this map location in the notebook in that given book outlet. Okay. Given booklet, you should not write. Instead, mark the places in the given map, and after locating in the map, tear that page and tie along with the booklet, answer booklet. Okay, that is the method. Okay, now we are coming to the theory portions there. Theory portion, time already 5 minutes gone, 10 minutes gone. So very fast I will be moving, 10 minutes now. Okay, so first manufacturing industry. That is the first chapter, second time, geography chapter coming, manufacturing industry. So what is manufacturing? That chapter beginning itself, you may see the definition there. What is manufacturing? Manufacturing is production of goods in large quantities after processing from raw materials to more valuable products. So this definition, it is one definition, one sentence. If you read textbook, you will see one sentence only, but it has 3 points. So which are the 3 points? Suppose you are asked, which are the 3 features of manufacturing industry? Suppose you are getting that way. 3 features. That definition you can break into 3 sentences, simple sentences. First part, it is production of goods in large quantity. First point, first feature of manufacturing, production of goods in large quantities. Second point there, processing from raw materials. This large quantity of goods are there. These goods are processed from raw materials. So when processed, what happens to raw material? Raw material is converted into valuable product. So that one sentence, one definition, you can break into 3 points. Okay. So it will be easy for a student, especially the student who study very well, that full mark you will be able to score. Nothing new you study. From that definition, you divide that, you break that one complex sentence into 3 simple sentences. So 3 points you will be getting. Then next we see importance of manufacturing. What are the importance? So many points are given, we have very less time, so all points cannot be given. Still then, it modernizes agriculture, it reduces heavy dependence of people on agricultural income, then it helped to eradicate unemployment and poverty from our country. Also, it brings down regional disparity by establishing industries in tribal and backward areas. Again, it helped to earn much needed foreign exchange for a country, foreign exchange, and it helped the growth, GDP growth of the country. Okay, so the points, just a few points only I told, we can't spend more time. And again, moving next part, industrial location. Industrial location. So industrial location, which factors influence location of an industry? That is the question. Which are the factors influencing or affecting or determining the location of industry? That industrial location heading there in the chapter, you can see there the first 2-3 lines, answer also given there very well, simple. Class 8 geography you might have studied already. Then class 10 repeating. So these points are raw materials, labor, capital, power, and market. All these are availability, you have to say. Availability of raw material, availability of labor, availability of capital, availability of power, availability of market. So that are different factors. Okay. Then agglomeration in economy. What is agglomeration? Another question can be asked. 1 mark or 2 mark question can be asked. What is meant by agglomeration? Agglomeration meaning, here in the definition you can see agglomeration economy. So what is agglomeration economy? Okay, or simple agglomeration. Answer, a number of industries locate close to each other and share the benefits of their closeness. If in a place, suppose Bombay, a number of industries are there in Bombay, coming closer, nearby. Nearby, it may be 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers distance, that much distance may be there. Anyway, one city. So if there is a number of industries locate very close to each other and share the benefits, share their benefits for their development, then it can be called agglomeration. Okay, minimum what you have to understand, a number of industries are there in the same place and they share their benefits. Number of industries in the same place, example I say Bombay, so many industries, the benefits can be shared by them. Benefit means not the profits. Okay, somebody's raw material may be used by another industry, or another industry's final product may be used by another industry as their raw material, that you are sharing the benefits. Okay, not sharing profits, benefits only. One industry's final product may be raw material for another industry, or they may be sharing their, exchanging their workers, laborers, so that you are sharing the benefits. That is the main advantage of agglomeration there. Okay, then classification of industry. That no need to explain, simple, the same point wise, it is given in the textbook on the basis of source or raw material. So on the basis of source or raw material, how industries are classified, that agro-based and mineral-based. Then according to the role of the industry, so how, which are the industries, classification of industry on the basis of role, that is a basic or key industry and consumer industry. Then next classification on the basis of capital investment. Capital investment industries are classified into small scale industry, large scale industry. Okay, small scale, large scale, etc. Then on the basis of ownership, industries classified into public sector, private sector, joint sector, and cooperative sector. Then if suppose examination, this type of question asks, if you can give example, that will be better. If the question whether they ask example or not, if you are able to write an example, you will be considered a very good student. So you will be getting full mark there. Okay, but if knowingly don't write a wrong answer, if you write something, it should be correct. Otherwise, leave it only, avoid it only. Okay, then based on the bulk and weight of raw material and finished goods, results again classified on the basis of bulk and weight of raw material. So on that basis, industry is classified into heavy industry and light industry. Then that part I stop. Next, agro-based industry, textile industry. Textile industry, the main points what you have to take care is, main point one, why textile industry is concentrated in Maharashtra and Gujarat. Answer I am not telling, you can just listen the question and you can find out. Now Saturday only exam coming now. So today evening, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 2 days are there, go through. Okay, so why textile industries are concentrated in Maharashtra and Gujarat? So find out the answers. Availability of raw material, raw cotton, market, transport, accessibility to port facility, labor, moist climate. That is so many points you will see there. Okay, then map already I told you. Then major problems of cotton textile industry. What are the problems of major cotton textile industry? Major problem of cotton textile industry you have to take care. Same jute textile industry also some problems are there. Major problem of cotton textile, major problem of jute textile, major problems of sugarcane industry. These three. And to study these three major problems, what you have to do? You have to write the points in a book nearby. Next way, next way, next way. That way you write. Then see, in these three industries, cotton, jute, sugarcane, similar points are there or not? If any point is different, what is that different point? So it will be easy to study and you will be writing correct points. When cotton is asked, you will not write sugarcane and such a problem. So write these points. Okay, write down in your notebook, nearby pages, and compare and study. So exact point you get. I hope you understood what I told. Then another part, what important question is the industry challenges faced by the cotton textile industry. What are the challenges? Major problem of cotton textile told. Now major challenges faced by cotton textile industry. Stiff competition in the international market from synthetic substitute, then from other competing countries. Okay. Then another point, one more question you have to take here is, the government, Indian government has formed a national jute policy. Indian government has formed a national jute policy. In which year that policy was formed? The question. One more question. In which year national jute policy was formed? Answer is 2005. If you didn't listen so far, now the exam only 2 days. So remember, national jute policy formulated in 2005. What was the objective? Why government formulated national jute policy? The objective is increase productivity. Take care, okay? Listen. 2005, Government of India formulated national jute policy. Why? Why? What was the objective? Answer, increase productivity. Second point, improve quality of the yarn. Then ensure good prices to the jute farmers. Then enhance yield per hectare, increase yield per hectare. So you will be getting 3-4 points there. So if the question is asked for 3 marks, you will be able to write why national jute policy was formed in 2005. Once again, to increase productivity, first point. Second point, improve quality of the yarn. Third, ensuring good prices to jute farmers. Fourth point, enhance yield per hectare. So 3 mark question, 4 points are there. So 3 points you can write. Okay. Then nowadays this sugar industry we are moving. Nowadays the sugar industry is shifting towards South India. Earlier sugar industries were in North India, mainly in Uttar Pradesh. But nowadays, since last so many years, these sugar industries are trying to shift their company to South India. Okay, so why it is sugar industry shifting? That answer, nowadays the sugar cultivated in South India has more sucrose content, that is sugar content. The sugar cane cultivated in South India, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, etc. There the sugar cane has more sugar content. That cane stick has more sugar content. That we say sugar content, we say sucrose. So sucrose content is more. So nowadays the farmers cultivate this in South India. So the industries, factories coming nearby. So transportation can be avoided or transport cost can be avoided. Okay. Then cooler climate. South India has cooler climate, best for suitable for this sugarcane cultivation. Then it ensures longer crushing season. There are also 3 points you get. 3 points. One, South Indian sugarcane has more sucrose content or sugar content. Second, cooler climate is there. Third, it ensures longer crushing season. Then cooperatives are more successful in South India. Cooperative. Sugar industries, most of the sugar industries work in cooperative sector. Sometimes one more question will be asked. In which sector sugar industry works successfully? Answer is cooperative sector. Sugar industry works successfully in cooperative sector. Okay. Then mineral-based industry, their textbook one chart is given now, process of manufacturing of steel, that you have to study. That I am not explaining. From the textbook, a chart you can see process of manufacturing of steel in some years, that is asked. Explain the process of manufacture of steel. So that way you have to the same as given in the chart in the textbook, you have to do and write very well. So study very well and do it. Okay. Then from that chapter, what I want to insist is not the smaller ones. Information technology, already that when I talked about the map, I told you it is only map question. IT map question only will be there, not theory question will be coming. Then next chapter, lifeline of national economy. Time again limitation is there. Now economics teacher is waiting. He is there. He is waiting. So just within maximum 5 minutes, I will be stopping. Okay, lifeline. Lifeline chapter, what you have to understand, you have to take care is what is the importance of communication. What is the importance of transportation? Okay, so how transportation and communication are converting world into a village. Now we say the world is coming, shrinking as a village, global village. So why the globe? Why the world is coming as or shortening as a global village? Answer is because of transportation and communication. Faster means of transportation, faster means of communication. That make people to reach any part of any corner of the world within hours or within seconds. We get the news information that happens anywhere in the world within seconds. So the world is shrinking. Shrinking meaning becoming smaller, shorter. So the world is becoming smaller or shorter. How? Through the communication and transport. Now internet, this is the age of internet, we know. No? So within seconds we get information, news, whatever happens in any corner of the world. Now latest we see Sri Lanka, many things are happening. Then and there we come to know, if you open the TV, we will be getting news, or if you open the network, we will get the latest incidents. So world is shrinking. World is becoming a global village. Okay. Then roadways. Another, now I am answer I will not be telling, just a few questions. What are the advantages of roadways? What are the advantages of railways? What are the advantages of waterways? What are the advantages of airways? So for waterway, advantages. Airway, advantages. Roadways, advantages. Railways, advantages. That earlier, as I told, write advantages each one. Next pages. See, same points are there or not. So it will be easy. Same points you get means easy. You will remember. If different points, that different point only you need to again revise, and you will be scoring full mark. Very good. Okay. Then that chapter, last part you can see the waterways, national waterways. Which are the national waterways? Ganga River between Allahabad and Haldia, Brahmaputra River between Sadia and Dhubri, and West Coast Canal in Kerala. This part, this much we see. Okay. Then last what you have to take care, tourism as an industry. Tourism as an industry, then international trade. Okay, tourism and international trade. That part I am not discussing now. I hope you have studied all this very well, and I am exchanging, or I am handing over this session to next teacher, economics teacher, that Mujib sir is there. So thank you everyone. Thanks the organizers, Ahodaya. Thank you very much for inviting me and giving me an opportunity. Hand over to Mujib sir, HM Tiruremiya School. Thank you, sir. Please, Mujib sir.
Thank you very much, Bertie sir. Thank you. And am I audible, children? Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay. This is actually a sleepy afternoon. Anyway, good evening to one and all. So I'm not giving you any lectures. Instead, I'm just asking you few questions so that we can have a discussion. Otherwise, you all will be sleepy. And the number of students has come down when during the starting time about 130 was there. Now it is about 50 students only. Anyway, I think you all know the two chapters. No, actually, economics I feel is the easiest among the four textbooks. That is why I chose to have it at the end. You please be ready to unmute and speak. Okay, I'll be just asking some simple revision questions to each and every one of you. You try to answer it. Uh, can Aditya say which are the two chapters in economics for our exam? Aditya. Uh, Aditya PV is not responding. So I just wanted to check whether you people are there or not. Can Anina Eldos say the two chapters?
Sir.
Ah, in economics?
Money and credit, globalization. Those two
Very good.
chapters.
Okay, okay, very good, very good. So I think some others are looking to the textbook. Actually, now it is high time to by heart at least which are the lessons that for exam money and credit that is the third chapter and fourth is globalization. These two are actually easy chapters. Anyway, can Arjun Nair hear me? Arjun Nair, hello. Okay. Ashik, Ashik. I think some teachers are also there. I don't know whether it is okay. Ashik Aman, no? Hello. Okay. I think you are a student. Ashik Aman. Okay. Can you say what is money? Do you know what is money? Can you just
Money is a medium of exchange.
Of course, it's a medium of exchange, or we can say it's a measure of value. Value of any object can be measured in terms of money. No, value of a pen that is 5 rupee or 10 rupee. So value can be measured in terms of money, as well as money is a store of value. Value can be stored in terms of money, and before the money system or monetary system, Devika P, can you say which was the system of exchange? Devika.
Yes.
Can you say the system of exchange before the money system or monetary system? Any idea? What about Fatima Najia? Can you say what was the system people used to exchange before the arrival of money?
Barter system.
Very good, very good. Barter system. It is the exchange of things, or it is the exchange of goods for goods. And can Hamda Fatima say what are the problems of the barter system, or what is the main problem of barter system? Hamda Fatima just disappeared. Can Lania Nasrin K say what are the problems? Why this barter system disappeared because of its defect? Can Lania Nasrin K say what was the problem of this barter system? Lena Shaju, can you say problem of barter system? Naifa Meherin, just tell me what is the problem of barter system? Saja Mariam, can Saja Mariam say?
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Lack of double coincidence of wants.
Okay, it's not lack of double coincidence of wants. It's actually double coincidence of wants. That means there should be coincidence of wants from the buyer side and seller side. Okay, double coincidence of wants. It means both the buyer and the seller should be ready to exchange their items each other. No, suppose if the buyer is not ready to exchange his item with the seller's item, then the exchange will not take place. A very good example is given in your textbook related with the shoemaker and wheat seller. No, so if the shoemaker want to get wheat, he should meet a wheat seller who is ready to purchase shoes instead of wheat. That problem is called double coincidence of wants. Okay, that you have studied. So to solve this problem, people used different items as money in the first stage, food items, then precious metals. No, you may have noticed in your textbook many different forms of precious metals are given. No, Mohar is a gold coin issued by the Mughals. No, have you noticed that and all? You just see the side information also. Just go through and keep all these things in your mind. If sometimes if it is asked, you can remember and write. Then the modern forms of money. Can Neha Natasha say the two modern forms of money explained in our text? Neha Natasha. What about Rajesh K? Tell me the two. Yes, Rajesh.
Currency and deposit with banks.
Very good, very good. Currency and deposit with banks. Currency means the money which is currently flowing in the economy. It includes both paper notes and coins. No, paper notes and coins. That together is called currency. And regarding the issue of currency and dollar, you have already studied. We know modern currency is actually paper currency. It has no value of its own. No, this is only a paper, and it does not have any daily use also. But still, it is accepted. Why is it? Can anyone say? Modern currency is only a paper. It does not have any value of its own. Gold and dollar, I mean the earlier currency, gold, that was valuable. The value was embedded on it. No, and even before this gold, food items were used as money. They were daily used materials. But now modern currency does not have any value of its own, and it has no daily use, but still it is accepted as money. What is the reason? Can anyone say?
Because it is issued by RBI.
It is authorized by the government of the country. In India, as she told, in India, it is issued by the Reserve Bank of India on behalf of
Central government.
very good. Of course. It's issued on behalf of central government of India. In some other countries, in Pakistan, it is their national bank issues the currency on behalf of their central government. In any country, their currency is authorized by their government. That is why modern currency is accepted. Okay. Then we studied about deposit with the banks. If we have deposit with the bank, it acts as money. There are many ways. The form explained in our text is check. No, it's a paper instructing the bank to give a specific amount from the person's account to the person in whose name the check has been issued. Okay, the definition you should by heart, because if you are asked to define a check, you should write it in the correct way. It is the best way is to write it what it is given in the text. Okay, so in that way you should write. Then the next we discussed about credit. Now, if we do not have money but we have many needs, we'll have to get loan. That is actually called credit. Can anyone say the definition of credit?
Agreement in which the lender supplies the borrower with money in return for promise for future payment.
Okay, okay. It is Zanu's query. Okay. So credit or loan is an agreement. Actually, credit includes not only cash. It may be goods and services, raw materials, or whatever it is that we are supplying, or the lender is supplying to the borrower, with the condition that it will be returned in future. Okay. Then can Isha Batul say the 4 terms of credit? Isha Batul. No response.
Hello,
Hiba.
hello, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, Isha Batul, can you say the 4 terms of credit?
Credit is at a reasonable interest rates should be available for all,
Okay,
so
okay.
that they may increase their income
Okay.
and help the overall development in the country.
Okay, okay. Okay, Isha Batul, you are from which school?
MA, sir.
Okay, okay. Anyway, there are 4 terms or conditions of credit. First of all, documentation. If you want to get credit, first you should produce your documents. That means your identity proof and all. That is documentation. Second, it is rate of interest that may be fixed by the lender or by the bank or by the government. Third one is collateral, and fourth one is mode of repayment. Okay. Can Lissy Anil Kumar say what is collateral? Lissy, any idea about collateral? Shamim MPD, can you say what is collateral? No idea. What about Sajida KK?
Collateral
Okay,
is an
Shamim.
asset.
Shamim. Okay, Shamim say. Shamim. Shamim MPD.
Is an
Collateral is, pardon? Okay. Again, Rajesh K. What's your actual name?
Sir.
Rajesh K.
Sir, Arya.
Okay, Arya, you please tell me what is meant by collateral?
Any asset that the borrower on is used as a guarantee for the lender until the loan is repaid.
Okay, okay. So it's actually security like gold or any property deed or even the cattle or something, vehicle RC, no, registration certificate of the vehicles that the borrower owns and kept to the lender as a guarantee until the loan is repaid. And you see, lender has the right to over collateral. He can sell the collateral and get his payment if the borrower is not repaying the money. Okay. Then we studied about 2 types of credit. Do you remember Anaka, AK? Can you say which are the 2 types of credit in India or anywhere? Anaka, AK. Or what's it? Ajwad. Your response is very less. Anna, Tom, tell me which are the 2 types of credit? Anna, Tom. Hello. Somebody else, just to say.
Formal credit and informal credit.
Very good, very good. Formal means which is controlled by the government. You have studied its features. Reserve Bank in India, formal credit is controlled by the Reserve Bank of India, and the functions of RBI. That is actually a separate question. It supervises the functioning of all banks. No, it collects periodic reports from the banks. That part you have to give importance. Anyway, formal credit means credit controlled by the government. The rate of interest is limited or it is fixed by the government. Whereas informal credit means it is not controlled by the government. So the rate of interest is very high and it is highly exploitative. Okay. That is about credit. And in India, majority of the credit needs of the people are met by informal sector like money lenders or different types, no, or different informal sources. That is why people are facing many problems because informal sector charges very high rate of interest and they put the people in trouble. To solve this problem, we have formed a system that is the SHG. Tell me the full form. SHG, Deepthi Johnson.
Self-help group.
Self-help groups. No? Okay. It's a group of how many members? Anyone can say because many are not responding.
15 to
They
20 members.
Yes, 15 to 20 members, and they have formed into a group. This group pools their resources, they collect small amount from their members and they deposit it in a bank. And keeping this bank deposit as collateral, they get loan from the bank. No, with this loan amount, they give small loan to the members. So even with any collateral, even without any collateral, the poor members of a self-help group can get loan from the group, self-help group. Okay. So this is very helpful for the poor sections in India. In Kerala, it is very successful. You may have heard about this Kudumbashri, no, I'll put that are related with the self-help groups. Okay. That's an easy chapter you just want to once more go through. Then the fourth chapter is about globalization. In simple sense, it is integration of a country's economy with the world economy. No, the features of globalization like production across countries, interlinking production. Uh, uh, what is it? MNC. What do you mean by MNC? Can anyone say?
Multinational company.
Okay, the company which owns or controls production in more than one country, no, can be called as a multinational company. What another feature of globalization is FDI. Tell me what is FDI? Somebody? Only Arya is responding. Can Saja Mariam say what is FDI? Hello? Arya, do you remember FDI? Zainul Karim? Tell me what is FDI? It's an important feature of globalization. Hello? Foreign? Why nobody telling?
Foreign
Yes.
exchange.
Not foreign exchange.
Foreign direct investment.
Yes, foreign direct investment. In simple sense, this is a huge amount of money brought by a multinational company or a foreign company. No, India's economy is growing very fast, not because of our money, but because of FDI, foreign direct investment. No, our investment sector or our business sector is open to the global companies. They are coming with huge amount of money and investing here. That investment is actually called a foreign direct investment. That are all the features of globalization. And I think you have studied the four methods and MNC start production in a new country. No? Do you remember? Like compete and defeat, no? Or making partnership with the local producers, no? Cooperation or collaboration with the local producers. Okay. Then placing order, no, by giving order to the local producers to supply their products. And the fourth method is by buying up local producers. Okay, multinational company will fully buy up a local company, then they will start production with the or expansion of these facilities. Then the next part, we studied about the factors enabled globalization, like development of production technology, transportation, new methods of production that helped for increasing production. Then information and communication technology that also helped for expansion of globalization. Then which is the agency helped for globalization? There is an international agency, that enabled globalization. Is it UNO? Hello? There is a formal agency to control or to frame rules and regulations regarding globalization. Can anyone remember?
WTO.
WTO.
Yeah, WTO, World Trade Organization, WTO. They frame rules and regulations, and they compel the poor countries like India and all to follow these rules and regulations. At the same time, they ignore even if the rich countries do not follow, or even if the rich countries violate the rules and regulations. That is actually a defect of globalization. In the last part of the lesson, we discussed about the merit and the demerits of globalization. There are many merits, like the consumers, rich consumers, they can have better choice, high quality, high standard, less price. Then many companies become multinational companies. Many people got employment. Many points are given. At least 5 points you should write. I think more than 10 points are explained in the text as merits of globalization. Okay. Employment opportunities was increased. Foreign direct investment and the development of the economy in the poor countries. And there were many demerits also. First of all, the local producers were cherished. No, they were totally collapsed. Another problem was related to laborers. No, more labor exploitation. Laborers were appointed. MNCs want flexible labor laws. So laborers are not appointed on a regular basis. That is why the laborers are facing many problems. And the rich countries are not following the rules and regulations properly. So we have to make the globalization beneficial for all sections. What is it called? The globalization that provides better distribution of merits of globalization to all sections. What do we call such type of a globalization? Do you remember? It is called fair globalization. No? Fair globalization that shares the benefits of globalization to all sections of people. What we have to do to ensure fair globalization? No, we have to negotiate at WTO for fairer rules. No, people also can do something. They can protest against the bad rules and regulations of the multinational companies. Government can support the local producers. So globalization should be fair, that should be beneficial to all sections. Okay. And whether the present level of globalization is fair, what will be your answer? Do you agree? Globalization is a fair practice now. Can we agree it? We cannot agree because it is not fair. In many cases, our laborers are exploited, and even the developing countries and underdeveloped countries are badly affected because of globalization. Because the rich countries violate the rules and regulations of globalization, and when poor countries violate, they impose some fine or some punishment over these poor countries. So WTO has to form strong rules that helps to share the benefits of globalization to all sections of people. Okay. So that's all about globalization. Once more, go through only 2 chapters in economics. That 2 are easy chapters. Anything to ask? Any doubts? Naufal sir.
Sir.
Okay. So I have just completed and they don't have anything to ask. Anyway, I thank you for giving me such a chance and I wish our children all the very best.
Thank you, sir. Thanks to you, Mujib sir, in the busy schedule. You have come and presented this session. That's a great thing.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you. And I thank your worky sir also, your teacher with you. So on behalf of Central Sahodia, we thank you all and all the teachers and Shibila ma'am also and dear students. Wish you all the very success in the coming examinations. Thank you, sir. Let's wind up this
Okay.
session.
Okay, sir. Thank you, children.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.